Hey, good morning, and welcome to Thinking is Contagious. A couple of things I want to talk about. I definitely want to touch on the Supreme Court thing in a minute, but I want to talk about something else. I don't know if you've seen Mike Bloomberg. He's raised $20 million. There are other celebrities that are raising money, conducting benefits, going on media on the air and looking to raise funds. It's a concerted fundraising effort that is going across this country. And I just want you to understand, what do you think that those tens of millions of dollars, which theoretically could, be $100 million between all the efforts that are being made, but let's say tens of millions of dollars, what do you think it's being used for? Food for the hungry? Housing for the homeless? Vouchers for children's education, child care benefits, help for the elderly, COVID relief, all good causes, right? No, the money is being raised to pay the fines of felons who have served their sentences, to pay the fines so that they can then be eligible to vote come in November. That's right. Tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars being raised to pay the fines of felons. Felons, pay the fines of felons. How is this not a violation of campaign contribution laws? How is this not? This is vote buying. Blatant. We will pay your fine if you vote. And you know what that's going to be. They're not going to say if you vote. They're not going to advertise the if you vote for Joe Biden. They're just going to say, realize we're a group that supports Joe Biden. Here's your money so that you can pay off your fine. This is blatant. This is disgraceful. This is anti-American. And this is the Democratic Party. And this is the liberal party of this country. And this is the disease that is attempting to spread through this country. And that is why it's so important that we let people know about what's going on. Understand, think about what I just told you and see if the outrage does not spur you on to let people know about this. This needs to be stopped. I ask you that you talk to your friends, talk to family, forward this video. And let's let everyone know what is being done to us in the name of overthrowing the 2016 election, because that's all this is. I don't know if you saw Miss Pelosi, the other day, but she basically, when they asked her about what quivers she has left in her, what she has left in order to combat Trump regarding the Supreme Court nomination. And she says, "Oh, we have a lot." She basically said, "We can impeach him for anything he does." No, Nancy Pelosi, the Constitution is very clear what impeachment is. Impeachment is for treason, for high crimes and treasons. Okay, it is not for your whim that you don't like a decision of what Trump is doing. Okay, it is not because Trump is following the Constitution. And I've heard say that, the Republicans are hypocritical now on this stance. Yeah, they are. Both parts. But if the Republicans are hypocritical, use your mind and use your brain, Democrats. If you're claiming that the Republicans, and you're pointing your finger at the Republicans as being hypocrites, there's four fingers pointing back at you. Because in 2016, you were on the other side of the table, and you were arguing the same argument that the Republicans are arguing. So you're hypocritical. Both sides are hypocritical now. history will tell you that with a president and a Senate of the same party, there has never been a situation where a Supreme Court nomination has not been made and filled. Okay, so that's a different factor. Doesn't take away from the hypocritical nature of both arguments, but it does set there is precedent. Does not set it. There is existing precedent that this is the way it's always been done. Not most of the time, not 90% of the time, not 99% of the time, always in the history of this country. I also had a liberal follower. I don't know if he's a subscriber. He should be. But I had liberal followers started telling me, defeating my argument that I keep saying that a nation that elects a white nation, a predominantly white population that elects a black man president twice, that country that does that cannot be accused of systemic racism. You know, let's differentiate. Racism, bigotry, prejudice, that exists. That's in human nature. That exists on all sides. Okay? Blacks are prejudiced, whites are prejudiced. There's some. Those are people that are a very small minority of America. America is a very progressive when it comes to race country. And I keep saying that the election of President Obama is proof of that, and he keeps fighting and saying that that doesn't prove anything. You know, of course it does. I mean, of course it does. You can shoot generalities. That doesn't prove anything. That's a complete generality. Shooting with the shotgun approach. Hope you hit something. And then he comes up and says, well, in 1870, the United States and Mississippi, I think it was, I'm not sure. I forget the state now, Alabama, Mississippi, in the South, elected a black man for the Senate. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. And I'm glad he brought up that topic. Because if you look through House and Senate, there have been, from 1870 to 1935, there's been 45 African Americans, blacks, because we're all Americans, blacks, elected either to the House or the Senate. And the reason I cut off at 1935 because the stat changes after this. But from 1870 to 1935, there were 45 elected, blacks elected into the House or the Senate. All 45 were Republicans. All. Not 44, not 43. 45 were Republicans. The Democrats are the party of racism, of segregation, of pro-Jim Crow laws, of anti-civil rights. They are the party of the KKK. They are the party of the Dixiecrats. Okay? Up until the 60s. Up until the 60s, they opposed civil rights. I'm sure names like George Wallace, Strom Thurmond ring a bell. And today, they are the advocates. Their history. They're trying to rewrite history. The same way that this cancel culture is trying to rewrite American history. They're trying to rewrite their political history and trying to go away from the fact that they are the party of bigotry. They are the party of racism. And I have to laugh when I get these liberal comments about how Trump is a racist. No. All Trump is doing is laying the groundwork for Americans. All Americans. White, green, blue, black, yellow, tan, orange, whatever color you want. Man, woman, transgender, gay, straight, whatever you want. He just has one criteria. Americans, these are the laws, this is what we follow, and this is where we're going as a country. The Democrats, the liberals need to divide and conquer you because they can't defeat us together. So they divide. And then they point out, oh, he appointed this person to this cabinet position, Trump did, and that person is anti-people, left-handed people. This is the absurdity of what the Democrats and the liberals hang their hat on. People, we have an election in November. The outcome is absolutely in my mind. The outcome is a foregone conclusion. Okay, but that doesn't mean that we need to take our foot off the pedal. We need to increase the count of Republicans in the House and Senate. We need to set this country on the trajectory of law and order, of accountability, of freedoms and civil liberties for all. Not at the expense of, but for all. We need to aspire for greatness, not bring the achievers down to the level of the non-achievers. We need to teach to fish, not hand out fish. We need to fight generalities and broad-based assertions of inequalities that are being proposed or put forth by the Democrats and the liberals as fact. We need to fight those and show that it's all the contrary. This is the country of opportunity. This is the country where people risk their lives to get to for opportunity. This is a country where every group that has immigrated to this country has succeeded. Whoever does not succeed in this country as a demographic, as a group, they only need to look inward. Inward. Who are you listening to? Who are your leaders? What are they telling you? How are they limiting you? They're telling you that you can't do things because you have this disadvantage. The only reason that is their narrative is because as long as you believe that you can't, they believe that you need them. They believe that you need them. And as long as they believe that you need them and that they've got enough people drinking the Kool-Aid, that without them you're not going to get anywhere because the deck is stacked against you. As long as that is there, they have a job. They got their spot in the feeding trough. Nothing is free in this country. Nothing. Anything that's worth achieving requires work and sacrifice, tunnel vision, a hell-bent, never say die attitude, and aspiration for greatness. Not bring the playing field down to the level I'm at. No, I want to play in the highest levels. People, change the narrative, change the mindset. The liberals are lost, completely lost, and they're leading a generation to be lost in space in this country. Remember, people, thinking is contagious. Thinking is very contagious. And the liberals know this. That's why they are working so hard at finding a vaccine to prevent the spread of thinking. Subscribe. Thank you for your time. Keep pushing. And we will see you next time.